The McLean Community Business Center study is an effort to reimagine the vision for downtown McLean. This presentation will review the visioning process, the components of the vision plan, the new draft plan under review, including the development potential, how the CBC is proposed to be organized into zones, information about a form-based plan, and the form and character for each proposed zone. The McLean CBC is an approximately 230-acre area centered around the intersection of Chainbridge Road and Old Dominion Drive. The existing plan for the McLean CBC has not been comprehensively reviewed in 20 years and needed an update that reflects market realities and accommodates redevelopment. At the start of the McLean CBC study, a 21-member community task force was appointed by the Drainsville District Supervisor. The task force is comprised of residents representing neighborhoods and community organizations, landowners, and business associations. From May of 2018 to the present, the task force, the community, and county staff work closely to discuss, evaluate, and prepare the draft changes to the comprehensive plan. The McLean CBC study started with a visioning process in June of 2018. Through a series of 3 community workshops, consultants worked with the McLean community, during which participants described what they desired for the future of the McLean CBC. A recurring theme from the feedback provided by the community was a desire for a walkable district with a public gathering space in the center of the CBC, as well as maintaining neighborhood serving retail within the CBC. Using the community feedback from the workshops, along with a market assessment of the estimated 10-year demand, the consultant created a vision plan for the CBC. This vision plan was the basis for the task force, the community, and the county to develop new draft comprehensive plan recommendations. The vision plan recommends the creation of a walkable town center or main street with a mix of uses that fosters a sense of place in the center of the McLean CBC. The highest intensities would be permitted in the core of the CBC, with lower intensities towards the periphery to provide a buffer to the surrounding neighborhoods. This vision is expressed through the zones concept, which provides a way to describe the placement and heights of new development for the CBC. Under the zones concept, tiered levels of intensity are organized into 3 zones: the center, general, and edge. The tallest building heights are envisioned in the center zone, transitioning to lower heights in the general zone. The edge zone will have the lowest building heights and retain its existing character. During the visioning process, the community indicated that a centrally located open space is a missing component of downtown McLean. These images were selected by the community during the visioning process, depicting preferences for types of open space for the CBC. The vision plan recommends the delivery of public open space as a community benefit in conjunction with a redevelopment of the center zone. The draft plan development potential was determined through an iterative process. There are 1,280 residential units in the CBC today, and the adopted comprehensive plan recommends 2,175 residential units. During the visioning process, a projected 10-year demand was developed by the consultant. This resulted in a scenario of a total of 2,905 residential units and 3.1 million square feet of non-residential uses when adjusted to account for unbuilt development potential in the adopted comprehensive plan. Because the comprehensive plan provides guidance for a longer horizon, additional residential units were added beyond the 10-year market assessment. Additionally, 8 parcel-specific submissions were received, and the task force and staff reviewed these submissions and included additional development potential based on analysis of these submissions. As a result, the draft plan recommends a total of 3,850 residential units and 3.15 million square feet of non-residential uses. This includes the existing and planned development. The draft plan development potential was reviewed for transportation and public facilities impacts, and recommendations for any needed mitigation are included in the draft plan text. The development potential included in the draft plan text recommends 945 additional residential units than the 10-year vision plan, 1,675 more units than the adoptive comprehensive plan, and 2,570 more units than the existing development. The draft plan for the center and general zones is form-based. Under a form-based plan, new development is guided by design, height, and a development cap in lieu of a maximum floor area ratio or dwelling units per acre for specific uses. This provides flexibility for new developments to implement the vision desired by the community while not prescribing specific uses for specific properties. The recommended building heights are guided by a proposed height map depicted in the map on the right. The area in gray on the map represents the center zone, and a maximum height of 7 stories is recommended in this area. The cross hatching on the map represents the area in the center zone, within which a consolidated project between 4 to 6 acres may be eligible for a bonus height up to 10 stories as an incentive to provide public open space. The area in red on the map represents the general zone, where a maximum height of 5 stories is recommended. The areas depicted in yellow on the map represent the edge zone, which does not utilize the form-based approach. The edge zone is recommended to retain building height guidance as described in the adopted plan and is generally developed with buildings up to 3 stories. The center zone of the McLean CBC is where the highest intensity uses would be concentrated, with buildings up to a maximum height of 7 stories. Development in the center zone will consist of a mix of uses, including residential, with buildings located close to the street and active ground floor uses. Locating buildings closer to the street and including active ground floor uses will make the area more pleasing for pedestrians. The photograph on the upper right and the rendering on the lower right are examples of the type of development that could be possible under the new draft plan. Additionally, a single consolidated site in the center zone between 4 and 6 acres is eligible for a bonus height up to 10 stories with the provision of a signature public urban park space. Underground or structured parking is encouraged with the redevelopment in the center zone. However, some surface parking in front of buildings may be appropriate. The general zone is planned as a transition from the center to the edge zone. It is planned for low to mid-rise mixed-use development with building heights up to 5 stories. Active ground floor uses are appropriate for new development in the general zone. The top photograph and the rendering below are examples of the type of development that could be possible under the new draft plan, such as neighborhood serving retail and residential uses. Parking supporting neighborhood serving retail should be provided in the general zone. The edge zone is envisioned to remain currently as planned and will provide a buffer between the general zone and surrounding residential neighborhoods. It is primarily comprised of townhouses and single-family residential uses, with some community serving retail, commercial, and institutional uses, including Franklin Sherman Elementary School. The edge zone does not utilize a form-based approach, but instead utilizes a residential units per acre and/or a floor area ratio approach for non-residential uses. The McLean CBC study is anticipated to be completed during the first quarter of 2021, which will include publication of a staff report, a Planning Commission public hearing, and a public hearing before the Board of Supervisors. The Board of Supervisors makes the final decision to adopt any proposed comprehensive plan amendment. Comprehensive plan guidance is implemented through the rezoning process, which also requires public review and public hearings before the Planning Commission and the Board of Supervisors for each application. The McLean CBC Community Open House will be held virtually from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturday, November 7, 2020. We encourage you to visit our website to learn more about the study and to attend the virtual Community Open House. Thank you for your time. Please send comments to DPC McLean CBC at fairfaxcounty.gov and visit the McLean CBC website for more information.